Hey guys, this is tech update number 4. It's been like a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks since my last update, which I apologize about. I got really sick, got like a mono-like thing still kind of lingering, and then I had the 3D wire project, which I could comment on, but I actually intend to make these videos into a blog later, so I'm gonna be quiet about that. I think everybody imagines how I feel about that project. I should have done an update sooner, but I haven't made good progress. I ran into a giant bug, which I'm going to talk about. But I want to thank Sean for reaching out and setting up the meetings and stuff. So I'm gonna dive into this, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna walk through what I have. I'm gonna walk through where I'm going, and then I'm gonna spend some time like explaining what this bug is. Not because I expect you guys to like study it and try and find the solution, but because I'm gonna have to come back to these videos later for help. And so the second half of this video is going to be a little bit more for me than for anybody else. So we're gonna jump right in to play. There's been some UMG cleanup. We're gonna host a game, call the lobby, new lobby. Browse online games, browse online games, browse online games. You're going to see 4 players named Ash show up. That's because it was the last test name that was used. They're all going to load off the same name because, wait for it, they're all running off the same computer. But we do have custom name, so just going to prove this real quick. And you can see it automatically updates. Everybody gets the update, so you could be sitting in lobby just changing your name. It's not locked in. Hold on, sorry, it's a little bit low. Can't reach that. Radical 420XX. Oh, sorry, I got to capitalize those. Okay, and there's a button here. It doesn't do anything. That's on purpose. I want to have players ready up and then have only the host be able to launch the game. Sorry, which is going to require some more accurate replication and cast on server. But you can see the button is available on everybody right now. Oh, the other thing I probably just ran through that, right? It was just create real quick, and we'll do browse online game. You can see everyone is going to load Radical 420. This lobby system is up and running now. It's got ping. You can see the name of the lobby and the name of the number of people. So we'll join. See 2 Radical 420s, and we'll refresh here. And so now we should see 2 of 5. The 5 is coming from a default setting that I've created. All right. This is the point where if you are not interested in this bug, feel free to tap out. Like, that's my progress. Where I'm going from here is today I'm going to be completing the Ready Up system. I found this tutorial. I've been following it for a while. It's been pretty great. I'm going to mention that a little bit more in a little bit. Get the Ready Up system, get the launch lobby going, and then get back into fixing up some of the actual in-game stuff. The shooter mechanics need to be completed, quote unquote. There's still damage and health and stuff, and then I want to get the character class state to pass, which is what I'm calling the robber versus cop thing, that the design stuff that was talked about. Okay, this bug. Let's just dive into this. So when a player joins, they get registered. Once they register themselves, they join. Okay, this is now in the game instance. All right, the controller class is fine. Just a note for myself for later if I have problems. Then checks if there's multiplayer, and then checks if a player is already joining. If so, they add to a queue. If not, now they are joining. They check to make sure they aren't previously registered. If they are, it prints out an error string for me. This has never happened. I've never gotten this error unless I forced it. So I'm just leaving this here for myself. I'll delete this in the EXEs. I don't want print strings running around. But if this were to happen, they just wouldn't exist. So it's a pretty big error. It can't happen unless I force it, which is good. So it's not an error or a bug. It's just something I can do if I want. Oh, by the way, that's the 5. In the event that this is false, which is 100% of the time, they do a reload player entry up here, and then they go through this, which is a remove from queue system. So player entry, they get all available players in the register, then they cast to the controllers, which is here. They then remove all the entries that previously showed up, which is a widget feature. Let's create, this is clear. They clear all their widgets. Then they go back through all the remaining registered players, and for each of them they grab the player state, they cast to the player state, they grab the player name, they create the entry then creates the new widgets, yada yada yada. This is the names you saw showing up, like boom, boom, boom. That's what this is. What is a player state? A player state is a pre-existing blueprint class in Unreal. It can be used to store variables and whatnot. Game modes request this data, actually. I didn't know this. If you've ever made a game mode before, you'll notice right below the controller class, which everyone fuddles with, there's a player state class, which I have never used before, so I'm using it for the first time. Don't really fully understand all the complexity of the player state. Doing my best to learn it, but still don't fully understand all of its uses. Here's the problem. Sometimes this player state, right, we're in the create entries, doesn't pass properly, and I get a none value. This is pretty bad. The none value is a known bug, which is why I followed this tutorial to create this queue system. And the queue system works in the tutorial, the queue system works in the forums, the queue system works in the comment section. Yeah, everybody else got to work. I didn't. I've run through this, I've debugged it. Like, it's the correct code. I've copied it correctly. And I understand what it's doing. It just doesn't seem to ever activate. And I don't fully understand why. So instead of spending the 7th hour trying to debug this, I wrote my own, which basically says, hey, if you've got none, the object name is none, which means there's no object available from this function. I want you to just put your own player state on top of the pre-existing player state and just generate it anyways. This isn't good. This is not a solution to a problem. This is basically going, look, I know you're going to break. Don't break. Just put your own shit on top of it and keep going. The only reason this works in this instance is because it's only requesting UI data. And the only reason this is breaking is because it's requesting so much UI data. When it gets to this point, right, the 4th player, it's requesting this 16 times. So the only reason this works is because it's a UI function. Which is why this system, right, of having custom names was such an important thing that then update later on. Right? So, that quote-unquote bug, which is I have not solved it. I'm not pretending to have solved it. Doesn't actually, I would say, deteriorate the player's capacity at all, right? Because this custom name set system exists, we still move on. We're able to get everything we want out of it. So that's the progress. I had hoped to get this done and then have moved into like all the ready up stuff. To clarify something real quick, this system here, this queue solution is a 6-minute fix. It's like 6 minutes on the tutorial. You follow it, it works, right? Everybody says it works. I've spent 6 hours going through this, and I'm still not fully understanding what I'm doing wrong. And instead of spending more time on this, I'm going to move forward because this, combined with the server set name system, moves it through, right? It's the same user capacity, right? The user doesn't lose anything. But in the long term, the inability to pass states is going to become a problem, I think. But I don't know for sure, because I don't fully understand when all this should be used. Because I'm used to running so much on the player character, which, for the record, I haven't touched. Yeah, all the lobby stuff is running on... please go away. It's very annoying. Thank you. Is all running on the controller and on the game instance. So that's basically it. I'm going to spend the rest of the day working on this. I'm starting to feel a little tired again. I've only been up for a couple hours, but I'm getting worn out. So this is more time working on that today. So you might see another update within a couple days. Probably the moment that I get all the lobby stuff done will be the next update. But if I run into giant big bugs again, I'm just going to honestly look for workarounds. So I apologize for this video being longer. Again, I don't know that anyone really needs to watch the second half of this video, besides me, and then if it ever becomes a blog report, definitely should watch it so you understand that, yeah, I don't solve every bug in the world. Sometimes I just keep going and I keep prototyping. That's how I do these things sometimes. So look forward to doing meetings with you guys soon. The weapons meeting, I'm really looking forward to. The character one, I'll probably pop in on that, Steph, but I don't think I'll sit through the whole thing. I just get really tired really easily right now. And then the map design one, I'll probably pop my head into as well. I know we got some great assets from Zimming a while back. I don't think I ever got a mock-up map of that from anybody, but that's fine. It's not pressing at all. So look forward to talking to you guys soon. Take care. Have a great Monday.